Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be doing a comparison between the entry-level package on the Chevy Silverado and the Ram 1500, aka the Custom and the Tradesman. Before getting this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Provo and the Dodge Ram here in Provo for giving me some time with both of these trucks. I'll include a link to both of their inventories in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And with that being said, as always, if you also want to save time money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get right into it. Starting with the Ram, we have a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 305 horsepower and then 269 pound-feet of torque. Going over to the Silverado, we have a turbocharged 2.7 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 17 around town and then 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front ends, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting here with the Ram, you guys can see this isn't a bright color called flame red. We've got those two distinctive raised portions on the hood. We do have halogen lights here with the Ram. You got the Ram logo front and center, tow hooks there at the bottom. Then you guys can see that 1500E torque badge off to the side. Popping over to the Silverado, you guys can see the hood is raised just like on the Ram. You have your Silverado badge there on the side. Notice the grill's all blacked out. Halogen bulbs, tow hooks here on the front end. Silverado definitely has a sportier appearance, that's for sure. And something else that I'm noticing is the Silverado looks to be just slightly taller than the Ram, but let me know which front you like more. With the Ram, our tire and wheel setup is 275/65/18 in the front and over in the rear. And then with the Silverado, 275/60/20 in the front and over in the rear. So you guys can see completely different design theme with both of the trucks. That's more sporty and that's more, you know, work truck kind of design. And then when it comes to the rest of the sides on both the trucks, you guys can see the difference with the mirrors. And then notice the door handles are both plasticky on the trucks, which is interesting. So here are key fobs for both of the trucks. You guys can see the Ram key fob here on this side and then the Chevy key fob over here on the other side. The Chevy definitely comes with quite a bit more equipment. You guys can see we've got remote start and we have a tailgate drop down function, whereas the Ram doesn't have that. With the Silverado, you guys can see we do have this protection here on the tailgate, and then the rest of the bed is not protected, but we do have lights here in the bed and we have an outlet. 1,892 pounds of payload capacity, and lifting this up, easy. Now with the Ram, this one actually has bed liner from the factory, so it's all protected. And then you guys can see we've got LED lights here in the bed with this, and you got those rails. 1,682 pounds of payload capacity and easy. Now with the rest of the rear on the Silverado, you guys can see Chevrolet there in the back. We've got the bumper steps there, receiver hitch, by the way, towing capacity is like 9,000 pounds. We've got the base taillights, and if you guys are wondering, the Silverado has those nice shocks, still utilizes leaf springs. Contrasting that with the Ram, notice we actually have LED lights here on the back, no bumper steps or anything like that. Towing capacity is in the 7,000 pound range with the Ram. And then we have multi-link here in the back with the Ram. Popping inside of the Silverado here, you can see pretty base with the interior, and then we've got these cloth seats that kind of continues. Then you can see the vents here, and this is the crew cab, so tons of space there on the rear. Comparing that with the Ram, this one's the quad cab, and so, you know, still basic from a material standpoint. I will say the seats are nicer in terms of the appearance and the feel. You can see storage space underneath. Not nearly as much space though here in the back. We do get vents there in the center. And then popping to the front of the Silverado here, you guys can see again pretty base with the material use. Got all of our window controls, front one's automatic. You got that little convex mirror there. And then looking at the seats again, full cloth seats. They are power adjustable, which is nice. Got your light controls here. Notice with the drive line selection, no four-wheel low, but you do have like a hill climb assist, and then you got the trailer tow mode off to the side. And then we do actually have a push button start. We've got this gauge cluster, which is pretty base, mostly analog. And then you can see with the steering wheel, we do have cruise control. We got a good old-fashioned column shifter with plus and minus to go through the gears yourself, and if I actually pop into reverse. Here's the backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And then we do have a single zone climate. And then you can see we've got like the tailgate drop down here. We've got like our lane departure, stability control, and then charging outlets. This one has a bench seat configuration here with the front, and then stuff like the rear glass is fixed, and then you do have a manual mirror dimmer. Contrasting that with the Ram, you guys can see again pretty basic with the door panel. Got all of our controls here for the windows. Front two are automatic. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Still have a convex mirror. And then here are the seats. Like I said, I think these seats are a little bit better looking. They are manually adjustable though. Got like our light controls. You can see the steering wheel is also manually adjustable. Still push button start though, which is cool. Again, we've got this analog gauge cluster. A few more controls in the steering wheel though. You can see we've got cruise control, your gear limiter, controls for center stack, voice command controls. And then if we actually pop this into reverse, backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And, you know, pretty small screen, especially compared to the Chevy. Single zone climate. Notice we got like tow haul mode, trailer brake, controls integrated. And then this actually has a true four-wheel drive low, so it does have a 2-speed transfer case. More charging ports down below there. And then, yes, this one has a center console bench seat just like the Silverado. Got like a dual glove box. Manual mirror dimmer, just like the Silverado. This one actually has a power sliding rear window though, so that's a big plus. When it comes to pricing, this Silverado stickers for about $48,000 and then this Ram stickers for about $47,000. Let's see how they drive. Off here in the Silverado with the 2.7 turbo and the custom package. And first thing I want to mention is, man, even just going around the parking lot, this thing is torquey. I mean, it just, again, 430 pound-feet of torque. It definitely moves, but it's weird hearing the sound of a 4-cylinder coming from under the hood with a pickup truck. That is definitely a unique experience. Yeah, that's so weird. But yeah, I mean, it definitely, it feels torquey. Ride quality is really good. It does have leaf springs still though, and so with those leaf springs, that means that you do get a little bit more movement in the back end of this truck. Okay, let's see what our acceleration's like here with the Silverado. Woo! Yeah, it definitely moves, that's for sure. I mean, it's quick. It is quick. So let's sum things up here with this Silverado Custom with the 2.7 turbo. First off, I love the exterior styling on this. Interior comes with a decent amount of features. Again, the fact this has the bigger cab I think is really important. And so I think this is actually a really solid value for everything that you're getting, because it's under $50,000, about the same price as that Ram, right? And you're getting a bigger cab, more towing capacity, more payload capacity. So you're just getting more truck overall for the same amount of money. Essentially, I think the only downside is, you know, potential reliability concerns with the 2.7, but aside from that, I mean, rock solid, and Chevy's definitely playing the value card lately. So setting off here in the Ram now, and the first thing I noticed right off the bat is not nearly as like punchy right off the line as compared to the Silverado with that turbocharged 4-cylinder. But you know, it still has some decent get up and go. I will say the transmission with this seems to be a little bit more refined, a little bit smoother with the gear shifts. Yeah, definitely. And you can tell this feels like more planted, and suspension does feel a little bit smoother. The Silverado kind of feels more truck-like. This feels kind of closer to a car. Still feels like a truck though, as well as that big, substantial, heavy feel. So there is no hiding that. Okay, so we're gonna get our acceleration here at the V6. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, not nearly as quick. The power figures definitely suggested that, but I mean, you can feel the difference between them. That is for sure. So summing things up here with the Ram, it feels a little bit smoother when it comes to the ride quality. So it definitely feels more on the luxury side. Seats are more comfortable too. Man, this is a toss-up between them, because there's benefits and downsides to both of them. I'd say that I prefer the powertrain in the Silverado because it's got more power. Again, towing capacity is higher, payload capacity is higher. I prefer a lot of the interior elements with this and the ride quality with this truck. I prefer the cab with the Silverado. Yeah. You guys have a hard choice to make if you're looking for a sub $50,000 truck, that is for sure. But yeah, that's gonna sum things up with our little comparison. Let me know if you guys like this style of video. The reason this happened is because I'm in a very, very, very rushed state, because I have to go film a Honda Civic Type R before the customer picks it up. And so wish me luck on my way up to Salt Lake. Hopefully I make it in time, but That's all. That's pretty much going to sum things up with our comparison between both of these trucks. And yes, the Ram definitely does have an interior that looks a little bit better in certain places compared to the Silverado, and a little bit more equipment in the bed. But you can't deny this truck, having the Silverado to be exact, having more payload capacity, more towing capacity, a bigger cab for about the same amount of money is pretty impressive. And so I think it's definitely the value play. And it also, I think, looks quite a bit better with the sporty design. But anyways, let me know which truck you would pick out of the bunch. I'll see ya. And again, a huge shout out to the Larry H. Miller Chevy here in Provo, and then the Dodge Ram here in Provo, providing me with both the trucks. Link to both their inventories in the description down below. There you go.